Guys, it's Kelly. Welcome back to my channel. Today, I'm going to be sharing with you the books I plan on reading for the month of June. I made this TBR starting in February, and I stopped making it in April because I was going a little bit ahead of myself. The first 4 books that I'm going to be reading, I'm going to be rereading. I have never reread these, and like I said, I started making this TBR back in February. And I was seeing it everywhere, and it blew up all in March. And then last month in April, May, we got news that there's going to be a new book in August. So and that is the Twilight series by Stephanie Meyer. I first read this book 15 years ago. I read it in 2005. Fall 2005, and ever since then I've watched the movies, which they're not that great, but my husband likes the movies. He's not a reader, so he doesn't understand. He doesn't get that. But yeah, reading this book made me found some of my best friends that I still talk to this day. The emo group in my school was reading this book, and I was friends with some of them, and then I started reading this, and it just got even cozier and best friends with the ones that were reading this, and yeah, and I still talk to them, and I just want to remember those times, and yeah. It's time to reread. So, Twilight, New Moon, which is not my favorite because of the months on the blank pages, Eclipse, and Breaking Dawn, which is not my favorite, but it is my favorite cover. I love these covers, and I'm having I have a little heartache with Book Depository because I bought the white editions box set, and it was supposed to come from England, and it spent 2 weeks in processing. And yeah, first and only time trying to buy from Book Depository. I ain't about that life, but I did buy the exclusive covers from the Bookish shop, and they're in the tube. They're waiting for me to get new books because I'm gonna put the exclusive covers on these. But I still really like these covers because this is part of my childhood. I need to stop going off on a tangent and just show you the books I plan on reading. The next book I plan on reading, it's at the library ready for me to pick up, and that is Ember Queen by Laura Sebastian. This is the 3rd and final book in the Ash Princess series. Absolutely love this series. It's about a girl. She's known as the Ash Princess once her kingdom is taken over by this king who kills her mother right in front of her and enslaves her people, and he keeps her in the palace to be his leering plaything. Not plaything, but he leers at and kind of as a companion for his daughter. And their country has these stones that if you touch them, they'll heighten your magical abilities. And that's what the king is wanting and mining, because he wants these powers. And all of his people that came with him to conquer this country, they're all wearing the rubies and the stones, and they don't know anything about it. So yeah, I am ready to see what happens in the 3rd one, and I am expecting good things, but I kind of already have a feeling about the ending. I wasn't exactly spoiled, but second one that is at the library is Dead Moon Rising by Caitlin Sangster. This is in the 3rd and final book for the 4 Stars Burning. It's about this girl. She has 4 stars branded on her hand, and that's the mark of a traitor. And her mom is like suspended in a deep sleep in the town square, so all of the people could see and spit on her and just be hated because she supposedly leaked a cure to the outside and put a disease on the people inside. And yeah, that's all I remember. I have not read this series in such a long time, so I'm hoping that I remember what exactly is happening. I remember the ending to the second one and how I was disappointed that Caitlin Sangster didn't go the other way. And yeah, I don't know. I'm still very hyped up about it, but and now that I'm talking about it, things are coming back to me from the second book and not the first one. Next one that I had on a previous month TBR but didn't get to it because my library didn't have a copy at the time, but apparently all their ordered copies came in during the pandemic. So One of Us Is Next by Kieran McManus. This is the sequel to One of Us Is Lying. I despised One of Us Is Lying because one of the characters in that book, she had, what's it called? Unbelievable character growth. She was the preppy, and then at the end, she's this hip ninja spy investigator, which I hated. I gave 2 stars to One of Us Is Lying, and our buddy read it with JT, and I liked it enough. I liked the concept enough to read the sequel, and it's a new school year at Bayview and no one is safe. What people are saying about One of Us Is Lying, the breakout thriller. Yeah, whatever. But it's got new people, so I'm hoping that these people do not turn into badass ninja investigators, and that they just have regular character growth. This one is another sequel, and it is Chosen. It is the sequel to Slayer by Kirsten White. Slayer is a Buffy the Vampire Slayer companion. It's not a retelling because it has Buffy essence in it. I have not read Slayer in a couple years, so I'm going to have to read my review to remember what I said, and I'm just so excited to read this. It's about all these Slayers who come into their powers, and they need to learn. So next one is a nonfiction. I did not get to my 2 A to Z reading challenge nonfiction picks last month, and to be honest, I'm not going to get to them this month, but I am going to be reading a nonfiction set in the Himalayas. And it's going to be taking the place of my W book, and that is Walking the Himalayas by Levison Wood. I've done read Walking the Americas and Walking the Nile. He is a former British paratrooper turned explorer, photographer, writer, and he goes on these walking expeditions. He walked the entire length of the Nile, starting from Rwanda all the way to the Mediterranean Sea. He walked from a point in Mexico all the way down to, I forget, Colombia or Argentina? Ooh. I don't remember. That means I need to rewatch. But, yeah. And when I read his books, I also rewatch the documentaries that he made because they correlate. Some information from the documentaries do not make it into his book, but his book does have like behind the scenes and like conversations he has with his walking buddies and pictures. I love the pictures. So I can't wait to read this, and I got 3 more books of his I need to read. One's waiting on hold for me at the library with Ember Queen and Dead Moon Rising, and that is Eastern Horizons, Arabian Journey, and The Last Giants. I'm waiting for Arabian Journey, where he walks the Arabian Peninsula. The book I'm going to start reading today is The Other People by C.J. Tudor. I have been waiting for this book from my library since February. I put it on hold at the beginning of February when Kayla from Books and Lala said it was her February pick for her book club. My library system only bought 4 copies, and then the pandemic hit in March, and people got a 6-week extension or a 6-week checkout on all books, and I had to wait even longer. So now I finally got it, and I only got it until June 23rd. I'm not happy. But I'm going to read it, and I hope I enjoy it. It's about a guy whose daughter goes missing. That's all I know. That's all I want to know. And her first book, The Chalk Man, absolutely loved the ending. Not expecting it whatsoever. And yeah, I think this is kind of like a paranormal, maybe? I don't know. Last book, which is a big one, which I don't think I'm going to get to this month, but I have to try because next month I'm reading this, A Feast for Crows by George R. R. Martin. That's the only big book I'm reading in July because I don't want to read 2 big books and that be the only thing I read in July. The book I hope to get to this month is Dreamcatcher by Stephen King. I wanted to do a Stephen King reading challenge this year where I read a Stephen King book a month. That didn't happen. The only Stephen King book, or I've read 2 Stephen King books. No. How many damn Stephen King books have I read this year? I thought I read Misery this year and that was last year. So, I've read 1 Stephen King book, and that was Carrie. So, I'm going to be reading Dreamcatcher. And then I'm going to be watching a movie because it has 2 of my favorite actors in it, Jason Lee and Timothy Olyphant. And Timothy Olyphant is eye candy, so I need to watch it. I think I've watched bits and pieces of it with my mom, and I know they go to the cabin and that this thing comes out of the toilet and just kills one of the dudes. I don't know. So, yes. How big is this? 600 pages, so, yeah. And, I don't know. If I get to it by the end of the month, it may roll over into July. That's what I'm thinking. So, that's it for the books I plan to read in June. That is 11 books, and they're all from, pretty much all from the library. Yeah. The Twilight series is mine, then the rest are from the library, so I need to read them. Yeah. But I got renewals on the rest besides the other people, so I'm not going to think about that. I'm going to think I'm going to have the mindset that none of them have renewals left and I need to read them just to get through them, because last month I read A Storm of Swords by George R. R. Martin, and that book took me 2 damn weeks to get through, and I didn't read many books after that, but it was so damn good. I think that one's my favorite. I'll talk more about that in my wrap up. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. For all my rambling, hit that subscribe button, and comment down below, tell me what you're reading for June. And I will see you in my next video. Bye.